When Neil Peart passed away in January 2020, many fans believed it marked the true end of Rush. After all, Neil wasn't just the band's drummer. He was its chief lyricist, creative architect, and one-third of a musical partnership that lasted more than 4 decades. Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson made it clear they had no intention of replacing him, saying Rush as fans knew it could never exist without Neil. But here's what makes this story remarkable. Even though Neil is gone, his presence continues to shape every decision Geddy and Alex make. Every new performance, every interview, every project begins with one question: what would honor Neil's legacy? That mindset has influenced everything they've done since 2020, proving that his impact reaches far beyond the drum kit. So how does someone who is no longer here continue to guide the future of one of rock's greatest bands? The answer is far more emotional and surprising than most fans realize. In the next chapter, we'll look at the extraordinary bond that made Rush unlike any other band in rock history, and why that friendship became Neil Peart's greatest legacy. To understand why Neil Peart's legacy still shapes everything Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson do, you have to understand the bond they built over more than 40 years. Rush wasn't a band driven by ego or constant lineup changes. After Neil joined in 1974, the trio remained together for the rest of the band's career. They faced changing musical trends, demanding tours, and personal challenges, yet their respect for one another never wavered. Geddy has often described Neil as one of the most disciplined and prepared musicians he had ever worked with, while Alex has said their connection went far beyond making music. It was a lifelong friendship built on trust. That trust became even more important after Rush completed its final tour in 2015. Neil had already decided to step away from touring because of the physical demands of performing, a decision his bandmates fully supported. They understood that Rush had always been about the three of them moving forward together, or not at all. Then, just a few years later, everything changed. Neil's passing left a silence that no drummer, no matter how talented, could ever fill. In the next chapter, we'll explore how Geddy and Alex faced that loss, and why their next musical steps carried Neil's influence in ways fans never expected. In the months following Neil Peart's passing, fans around the world wondered if Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson would ever perform together again. The two musicians admitted that losing Neil was deeply painful, not only because they had lost a legendary drummer, but because they had lost one of their closest friends. For a time, making music together didn't feel like a priority. Gradually, though, they found comfort in simply playing again. There was never any discussion of replacing Neil to restart Rush. Instead, they chose a different path, one that respected everything the three of them had built. Whether appearing at tribute concerts, making guest performances, or collaborating on new projects, Geddy and Alex have consistently emphasized that these moments are not a continuation of Rush, but a celebration of music and friendship. That distinction matters. Every appearance sends the same message: Neil Peart's role in Rush was unique and irreplaceable. Rather than trying to recreate the past, Geddy and Alex have focused on honoring it while allowing themselves the freedom to explore new musical opportunities. But one collaboration, featuring an extraordinary drummer, showed fans exactly how Neil's influence could still be felt, without anyone trying to become the next Neil Peart. That collaboration came when Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson reunited on stage for the 50-something tour, performing with acclaimed drummer Anika Nilles. From the very beginning, the message was clear. Anika was never there to replace Neil Peart. She was there to bring her own musicianship while honoring the music with respect and precision. Anika's technical skill, deep sense of groove, and thoughtful approach made her a natural fit alongside Geddy and Alex. Instead of copying every detail of Neil's legendary performances, she captured the spirit behind them: musical excellence, creativity, and total commitment to the songs. Fans quickly noticed that the chemistry on stage felt genuine because no one was pretending the past could be recreated. That approach reflects the values Neil himself stood for throughout his career. He constantly evolved as a drummer, encouraged artistic growth, and believed musicians should develop their own voice rather than imitate others. In many ways, Geddy and Alex honored Neil's philosophy by choosing a drummer who respected his legacy while remaining true to herself. In the next chapter, we'll reveal why Neil Peart's influence continues to guide every major decision Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson make, and why that legacy may never fade. What makes Neil Peart's legacy so powerful isn't just the music he left behind. It's the standard he set. Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson have repeatedly shown that every project they take on is measured against the values they shared with Neil: integrity, preparation, curiosity, and respect for the audience. That is why they have never announced a reunion of Rush with a replacement drummer. Instead, they've been careful to separate new collaborations from the band's legacy. Geddy has focused on sharing stories from Rush's history through his memoirs and live conversations with fans, while Alex has continued writing and recording new music that reflects his own artistic journey. Together, they occasionally perform, but always with the understanding that Rush remains the work of three people, not two. This philosophy has earned them even greater respect from longtime fans. Rather than chasing nostalgia or commercial success, they've chosen authenticity. Every note they play today carries the influence of the friend who helped shape their lives and careers. But perhaps the most touching part of this story isn't about the past. It's about how Neil Peart continues to inspire future generations of musicians, ensuring that his influence will never truly end. More than 6 years after Neil Peart's passing, his influence is still impossible to separate from the story of Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson. His lyrics continue to inspire listeners. His drumming remains a benchmark for musicians around the world, and the values he brought to Rush continue to shape every decision his bandmates make. Whether Geddy and Alex are performing together, collaborating with other artists, or reflecting on Rush's incredible journey, they have remained consistent on one point: Neil can never be replaced. Instead of trying to recreate the past, they've chosen to celebrate it with honesty, gratitude, and deep respect. That choice has preserved Rush's legacy in a way few legendary bands have managed. Perhaps that's the greatest tribute of all. Neil Peart's legacy isn't just found in classic albums or unforgettable drum solos. It's found in the character, friendship, and artistic integrity he shared with Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson. As long as their music continues to be heard and new generations discover Rush, Neil's influence will live on, reminding us that some legacies aren't measured by time, but by the lives they continue to change.